Hi friends, host Eric here, talking with fan people with my beloved significant wife, partner, other, Rachel. And today I want to talk about handedness and functions. So, as periodically happens, some C.S. Joseph fan, who seems like a perfectly nice person, commented on one of my C.S. Joseph videos in which I say that he's not an ENTP, saying the following, that, oh, he's an ENTP, he just looks different because he spent so much of his life in his INTJ shadow. Okay, so I said in response to this, I'm like, that's like saying after years of using his left hand all the time, he discovered one day that he was actually right dominant. It's insane. It makes no sense at all, right? But I got a better analogy than this. The reason people think you can change functions or whatever is because they either have zero sense of SI or zero sense of NI. Experience is a necessary part of identities that are based on processes. So I identify as a guitar player. I'm never going to wake up one day and discover, oh my gosh, I was living a lie. I'm not a guitar player. I'm a piano player. The reason is because being a guitar player means you've been playing the guitar for a while and continue playing the guitar. It doesn't mean that you've attained a status of being able to play the guitar or something, and that you can switch off and attain a status of being able to play the piano without doing anything. In other words, if you do become a piano player, it will be because you spent a lot of time practicing the piano and stopped practicing the guitar. Now, the way that cognitive functions are different than guitar and piano is that guitar and piano comprise discrete skill sets that include multiple cognitive functions and learning how to do them. But a cognitive function itself is a process of being. So you can no more be in your INT shadow for a long time than I could be in my womanhood for a long time. I'm not a woman. To be in my womanhood for a long time would require a different physical reality. Just as to be an INTJ requires you to consistently, habitually, ontologically use NI first and TE second. So was C.S. Joseph ever an INTJ? No. Well, what does he mean by he was living in the shadow? He doesn't know what he means. It doesn't mean anything at all. Was he ever an ENTP? No. If he is an ENTP, can we explain it by his particular experience? Absolutely not. We'd have to explain it by simply saying he's the least interesting, least creative, and least intelligent ENTP in history. But I think it's vastly, vastly more likely that instead of being an anomalous outlier of the worst sort in the imaginable in the history of mankind, that he is instead an actual representation of a different type, probably ESTJ. So no, you can't wake up one day to discover, oh shit, I was left-handed this whole time. You can't wake up one day to suddenly discover, oh shit, I'm not a guitar player, I'm a ballet dancer. There's a corresponding experiential component that's necessary before you can make those claims, right? And if you're buying into his stuff about cognitive functions basically being skill sets that you master, like say, now I can do a double spin dive off the high board, whereas before I used to only be able to do a single spin. You're misunderstanding the nature of cognition, identity, being, humanity, everything that matters when it comes to mapping what it means to be a human personality. Of course, some types just aren't mapping types. ESTJs are not good mappers of abstractions at all. My dad has a doctorate and PhD in philosophy, okay? He's an ESTJ. I became a better philosopher than him around age 10 without any formal training whatsoever when I started asking the first questions that he couldn't answer and wasn't interested in answering or figuring out the answer to or thinking it was really meaningful or relevant ultimately. It was just a hoop he jumped through to get a doctorate. So the thing is, C.S. Joseph's in that category of thinker, which is to say, he may be very competent at lots of things in life, but when it comes to abstracting correctly about the maps that explain human behavior and experience, you might as well hire a blind man to draw you a picture of the thing you're looking at right now. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and
don't forget to eat plenty of cheese.